Hey y'all, it is March the 16th, 2019. And y'all, I wanted to holler at you about just a couple of things, um, real briefly. Then I'm gonna put in some work tonight. Alright, I got some ideas. Alright, y'all gonna check them out later. But I wanted to holler at y'all about, just a couple real brief things that I just had on my mind, just in case if you're out there observing stuff like I am. Right. The whole New Zealand thing, first of all, the stuff's gone on around that incident. A lot of people have been really studying that. I haven't been studying it so closely, but I mean, it's everywhere. Of course, I've seen the video, this and that, people talking, witnesses and stuff like that. I know the official narrative, basically. I understand it's a manifesto. I've heard basically what's in the manifesto. I haven't seen it for myself. Maybe I will. Maybe I will soon. But I have heard basically the main points. I want to talk about that. First of all, if you go with the manifesto, from what I heard, from what I've gathered from very legitimate sources, they're saying that really it's like an idea salad. It's kind of all jumbled up and mushed together. All these different contradictory ideas and stuff that this alleged shooter, I don't know if it was just one shooter, this alleged shooter had a manifesto. All right. And they're talking about it. They said it's highly intellectual. That's the thing about it, and I might have to take a look through it. They said, whoever wrote this manifesto is not a stupid person. They're just all jumbled up for some reason. They're all mushed together. All right. I don't know. Who knows? We're gonna get down to the bottom of it, obviously. But I wanted to point out for everybody that this tragedy, it doesn't make sense for people to kill other people. I gotta stress that. You know what I'm saying? Just to kill innocent people, oh, because you have a point, oh, because you want to be a terrorist, that is completely 112% retarded. It's so retarded that there's nothing more retarded. All right. Well, there's hardly anything more retarded. All right. So what New Zealand proves for everybody out there, because there was this debate as to whether or not have gun control, have not gun control. People had already basically chosen sides at that point. But basically, New Zealand, what it shows us is there's no amount of gun laws. All right, ever, dude. They has extreme gun laws up in New Zealand. It did not save them. There is no legislating a savior for anybody, to include myself out here and stuff. It just makes even more sense. It always made sense. It's just making more sense. That dang, dude, like, people need to start protecting themselves everywhere. Might I point out that there's some countries, and you might not know about them, but there's some countries, some regions in the world where people sometimes get killed by monkeys throwing rocks. I'm not making that up, but they get killed by monkeys throwing rocks. These people don't own guns. You understand? That's a dangerous lifestyle. All right, people been wackadoodle, not here in Texas. But we're wackadoodle in our own way. But that's the thing, we hold our guns. All right, we do not get killed by monkeys throwing rocks. Sometimes we get killed by our own tigers and lions and stuff in Texas. We do some stupid stuff. All right, but we do not get killed by monkeys throwing rocks. All right. Not only that, here's the thing. I totally refute anybody's gonna run around killing people and stuff. But you understand that this person allegedly had a huge arsenal. It looked like one of those shoot 'em up games. All right, I've seen it. All sort of weapons that were extremely illegal in New Zealand. Doesn't make any sense why he would have laws. All right, he broke the laws. Did not care about y'all laws. All right. Not only that, but I want to point out something that's more nuanced, kind of about the culture of New Zealand. I don't know much about the culture of New Zealand. Thing is, what I gotta let you know is some of the stuff that I've seen about New Zealand and people who are like that, likewise countries. One of the most interesting things that I've noted personally already, my experience is their dance that they do. All right. And a lot of y'all might find it funny. I find it dead serious. It's a dance called the Haka dance. All right. And you just go ahead and Google it. It's Haka, Haka dance and stuff. Check it out. This is like New Zealand and so this is our culture, right? We don't do that here. I gotta let you know. Nobody does it here. All right. But ever since I've seen the Haka, I was like, oh man, that's an awesome idea because when you think about it, all right, it's a big group of people. They're big men and they're doing a choreograph like I mean it's a dance, but it's intimidating and stuff. It's like meant to show people intimidation. It's meant to intimidate people. That's what it is. Very effective. They do it at rugby games and they do it at weddings and they do it everywhere they go. It's a group of people, it's a group of people who've known each other almost their whole lives, probably their whole lives, right? And ever since they were young, they were thinking up the haka, which is a way of intimidating people, letting them know they're going to catch a beat down. They're like, don't cross these people. If you ever see, I swear, if you ever see a gang of people and they're doing a haka in front of you, you're not gonna want to fight any of them. Not any of these people. All right, it's very intimidating that way. I just wanted to point that out just because it's kind of part of their culture. I think it's a respectable part of their culture. But meanwhile, they're here just like every other nameless country now, right? Talking about, oh, we love our immigrants. Oh, we are our immigrants. Our immigrants are the best of us and stuff, you know. And I understand that nobody's trying to shoot anybody. Like, if you have any sense, you're not going around trying to shoot anybody of any religion or any race. It doesn't make sense. But all right, to go over the top and say, oh, we're so inclusive, we love immigrants, we love immigration and stuff like that. Meanwhile, it's clearly not part of y'all culture. Right, and I'm not the foremost expert on New Zealand, but I mean, I was talking about somebody was talking about New Zealand with me earlier, and they were talking about, oh man, they're kind of exclusive. Like they don't exactly like outsiders over in New Zealand. It's like, dude, it's no wonder. I mean, they have the haka dance. I mean, that's not meant to make you feel welcome. All right, okay. So I just wanted to bring that up and note that the whole thing is backwards. If anything, it just makes it obvious that gun laws ain't gonna save nobody. But not only that, before I get out of here, it's kind of random, but as y'all know, I've been keeping my eye. There's a lot of people who know Roger Stone, right? And I brought him up in some videos, made the videos, and they're pretty brief. You want to check them out? They're like, a few days old. Okay, a lot of people love Roger Stone. A lot of people hate Roger Stone. All right, he's been up to a lot of antics his whole life and stuff. That's what he's kind of known for. All right, but I pointed out that he's kind of out. In one hand, he's an alleged senile old man who doesn't really know much, and on the other hand, he knows all sort of things coming down the pike, and he's got interesting connections and people who talk to him. All right, he lives a double life that way, it seems. All right, because he. Just to be real brief, he used to cohort with Al Lamberti, all right, who used to be the Broward sheriff, right, a while back. He used to work with Al Lamberti. Then it appears he threw Al Lamberti under the bus, and then he went and endorsed a Scotty Israel, and this was years ago, all right, and this is well documented, all right. So he went ahead and he worked with Scotty Israel. He was endorsing Scotty Israel. It was well publicized, all right. Now, when fast forward to the Parkland thing, Roger Stone's coming up, vouching. I mean, I'm talking about that day, a couple days later, vouching for Scotty Israel, a man that he knew and in fact worked with. Didn't really bring up that he worked with him, but vouching for him, saying, oh, this guy's going to keep it square. There's not going to be no sort of cover-up. Don't y'all even worry about it. And it turns out it was a cover-up everywhere, all right? So, like I said, on one hand, you got Roger Stone, and he is a senile. I mean, he has gone off a plantation. He's no longer with us. Roger Stone is an old man, right? In one hand. On the other hand, even Alex Jones says, a lot of stuff that Roger Stone says, guess what? It comes to fruition for some reason. All right. So that all looks very suspicious. As far as Al Lamberti, kind of threw him under the bus. There's a guy who comes into play called Scott Rothstein, and that guy was getting billions of dollars, dude. Ponzi scheming and stuff, and just taking people's money. All right. Roger Stone, although he also worked with Scott Rothstein, and this is public. Scott Rothstein also admitted to this. Roger Stone and Scott Rothstein worked together. They created some sort of firm or something. I forget the name of it. But, okay, later on, Rothstein gets caught up for his big Ponzi scheme. Roger Stone pretends like, oh, well, I don't know that guy. I kind of worked with him. I kind of started a firm, but I didn't know anything about his illegal dealings. And then, okay, he throws Al Lamberti under the bus because there was some people high ranking in his department, his sheriff's department, who were working with Scott Rothstein, who was a billionaire. All right, basically working for him. Those two folks, they go to prison. Al Lamberti, he does not get reelected. All right, Sheriff Israel takes his spot via the help of Roger Stone, who uses all sort of political trickery and admits to doing it, and he's been doing it his whole life. All right, so Al Lamberti gets thrown under the bus for those two people under him that was working for Scott Rothstein, who also worked with Roger Stone. And Roger Stone threw Al Lamberti under the bus, right? Israel's now the sheriff. After Israel becomes the sheriff, pretty much all calamity starts to hit the fan over in Broward County. You don't feel it until maybe a couple years later, but then you start to feel it. You start to feel the Israel effect. I'm talking Scotty Israel. You start to feel that effect. And then when you really feel that effect up in the Parkland situation, when you really feel the Scotty Israel effect, Roger Stone is playing like he's stupid. Roger Stone's playing like he don't really know the sheriff all too good. All right. Meanwhile, it is also well documented that Sheriff Scotty Israel, he has a guy up under him called Frank Adderley, or else he did, but they've been fired. All right. They're not never coming back. He had a guy up under him called Frank Adderley, whose own wife tried to kill him. I'm talking about Frank Adderley. His own wife tried to shoot him up in the bedroom, tried to shoot him. She went to prison for that. All right. Frank Adderley also has cohorts with Scott Rothstein. That was before Scott Rothstein ended up in prison. And I'm sure it's a pretty nice prison, if you know what I'm saying. All right. Frank Adderley also had dealings, and it was well documented. Frank Adderley's up under Scott Israel. So if you get what I'm saying, Roger Stone is absolutely just all up in your face being a hypocrite and pretending to be a stupid old man. Either that or he really is a stupid old man and very forgetful. Maybe saw that reefer he be smoking about of his Nixon bongs and stuff like that. This guy's trying to sell people rocks with his name on it. Do you understand how sick what I'm describing? It's very sick. All right. That's Roger's. That's what it appears to be. And here's the thing. I would love for him to just explain why what I just explained is wrong, because it's all well documented. I would love for him to do that, but just to let you know as a quick update, Alex Jones has already said basically Roger Stone has gone up in hiding. Roger Stone ain't even talking to Alex Jones no more. I wonder why. I wonder if it's because we have some sort of clue as to what he's up to. Lying. All right, I wonder if that's why he's gone into hiding. Oh man, the story goes that Mueller and all that whole deal has put a gag order on Roger Stone. Oh really? How much do you want to bet Roger Stone and Mr. Mueller have an agreement already? All right, how much you want to bet both those individuals know Scotty Israel very well? Huh? How much you want to bet? All right. He's selling rocks and stuff. All right. Trying to get everybody money. I'm going to holler at y'all. It's March the 16th, 2019.